Uisce-Baha. Uisce-Baha is Gaelic. In fact, it is Gaelic for water of life pertaining to whiskey. Now, there is all kinds of debate about the origins of whiskey, where it first started. Most people are going to tell you that the Irish created it, invented it, brought it into the world. But it cannot be denied that the Scottish have perfected the art of making whiskey. Some of the most delicious, amazing, innovative, and flavorful whiskeys in the world. Single malt scotches are probably one of my favorite indulgences, and I definitely drink a lot more whiskey during the colder months, autumn and winter. Now, whether you're new to the whiskey game or you are looking for some new suggestions because you're running into some dead ends, I'm going to bring to you my 6 favorite single malt scotches for the colder months of 2021. Hey, what's cracking YouTube? I'm Brandon. Welcome to DaVinci's Alchemyst, your blue-collar guide for drinking well, stinking pretty. Drinking well is the focus of today's video. I had a subscriber request a top whiskey list from me, and it's just in time for the colder months. This is top 6 single malt scotches, the whiskey that I am paying a lot of attention to right now. Again, whether you are a brand new person into the world of Scotch or you are an experienced Scotch drinker and you're looking for some good new suggestions, I have got you covered here. This will be a vast variety of cost price points, but every single one of these is amazing. They are in no particular order. I will post the average retail price of each one of these bottles in US dollars in the corner. Let's crack open a bottle right now. First up, again in no particular order, is Balvenie 12-year Double Wood. As you can see, this bottle is almost empty. This will be the last of it that I'm drinking right now. So this is from the Speyside region of Scotland, and it is frickin' smooth as a baby's ass. On the nose, I get a lot of berry characteristics, slightly floral, a bit like chamomile tea. The name Double Wood signifies the fact that it is matured in 2 types of oak casks. The initial maturation is done in traditional whiskey casks, and the secondary or final maturation is done in European sherry casks, which is where I think it gets a lot of that berry-like characteristic in the nose. Like I said, this is super smooth. This was my introduction to Balvenie, and I've already got a backup bottle of it because this is going to be the last of this. So let's have a sip. Yeah, that is just so smooth. Malted grain comes out straight away on the first taste. I get a nice little bit of a sweet orange, like a candied orange peel, and there is a nice touch of light, airy vanilla, very cereal-like qualities. This goes down super smooth. I never have a problem with drinking it neat. Balvenie Double Wood 12-year. Slainte. I have a feeling that by the end of this video, I could very well be a little sauced. Coming up next for you guys is another Speyside. This is the Glenlivet 14 Cognac Cask Selection. So again, this is done in the traditional whiskey casks, ex-bourbon barrels, that sort of thing. But then it is finished in these great cognac casks, giving it a nice little bit of an interesting characteristic. Without further ado, let's pop this on open. On first whiff of this, the nose gives me some citrus notes, some grassy notes. Digging further into the whiskey, get a nice little dry tobacco and a sense of prunes, like stewed prunes. Only thing left to do is a taste. This one is something that I drink when I want a little bit more of a kick, a little bit more of a punch, because that alcohol hits you right on the tip of the tongue and nice in the back of the tongue as well. Really nice dry wood, not really sweet. It's ever so slightly bitter and a little bit spiced. I get this kind of sense of like a spiced oatmeal that doesn't have any sweetener in it, like a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg in your breakfast porridge, if you will. This is great for when you want a little bit more flavor in your single malt. Glenlivet 14 Cognac Cask Selection. Let's move over to the region of Islay. I'm gonna showcase a great starter Islay whiskey. This is Lagavulin 16-year. What can I say about Lagavulin 16-year? This shit is amazing. So this, like I say, is a great starting point for someone that has never tried any Islay whiskey before. Maybe you've tried a lot of the Speysides, you've tried a lot of the Highland scotches, and you want to step up your game, you want to get into the peat, you want to get into the smoke, but you don't want to blow yourself out. That's kind of a bit of a cautionary tale with Islay whiskeys. If you go too heavy at the start, you're probably going to sour your taste buds and you're not going to want to try it again for a long time, if ever. So my suggestion is starting here at Lagavulin 16. It's super, super smooth. Let's get into it. If I can get the bottle open. Beautiful golden color. This is admittedly kind of a luxury single malt. All things considered, it's not badly priced. On that first whiff, that wisp of smoke does get right there in the front and center of your nose, but it is quickly followed by a nice honey and kind of sweet grass accord. You can't get much more golden deliciousness than this particular single malt. There is a nice small, very, very small hint of that medicinal quality that peat gives you, but again, it is not overpowering on the taste. Oh, Jesus, that's like ambrosia. You get that smoke, the back of your throat, just a light little bit. The medicinal quality is super, super, super faint. So a lot of that nose translates over into the taste, but with that taste, you get this really delicious kind of buttery, salted caramel. This is something that if you feel like watering it down, and I understand. If you feel like adding ice cubes, I understand. But neat in a chair, sipping mellow, no cigar, because any smoky nuance that you're looking for is going to come from the back, very, very backbone of this. And just shy or around the 100 USD mark, this is extravagant. This is something that you pull out during the holidays. Great starter, Islay whiskey, Lagavulin 16. Moving into the Highlands, it's a very, very famous distillery, Glen Morangie. This is their Sauternes cask finish. This is Nectar d'Or. Definitely on the lower end of this price spectrum. Ooh, this is a great, great Highland Scotch. Beautiful color, beautiful presentation as well. Comes with a nice little case. The nose on this is honeysuckle, nicely floral, light vanilla and caramel with a little bit of dry alfalfa. The taste. So rich with that honey flavor. Has a nice spiciness to it. Absolutely wonderfully spicy. Slightly more viscous, thicker mouthfeel than some of these other single malts. A little bit of apple, nicely buried in the background. This is one you should be proud to have on your shelf and bring out when you have friends over. This is Glen Morangie Nectar d'Or. Jumping back to Speyside once again for the next one on this list. We're almost done. This is Aberlour 16 double cask matured. Now I do want to talk about how badass this bottle is. It's hefty, thick open cork. Oh, I love that sound. This is a little bit higher on the cost spectrum, but to me it's worth every penny, absolutely every penny. Deep, rich color. On the nose, nice dried fruit, kind of like a minced pie. Has a little bit of that savory quality. Has a nice little bit of iron in the backbone, a little metallic iron in the backbone. Blends really well with all those other elements. Ah, Jesus, that taste though, that's where it's at. Vanilla, caramel, spices. Again, a little wee bit of savoriness to it. Those spices, the cinnamon, nutmeg spices that I get off of it, they are very much leading to the idea of a mince pie. I friggin' love mince pie. It's one of my favorites. Not too sweet, not too savory, just perfectly in between. This, I would imagine, goes great. Haven't had a chance to try that yet, but I really suggest that you check this one out. Again, a little higher on the cost spectrum, Aberlour 16. Here we are at the end of the list. This was a birthday purchase for me. This is Ardbeg Oogadoll. Again, we're jumping over into the region of Islay. When I mentioned before about that super heavy Islay Scotch that you don't want to just dive into if you've never tried Islay Scotch before. This is absolutely what I'm talking about. If you are looking for something to step up your Islay game, you definitely need to check this out. I want to suggest that if you have not tried any of these peatier scotches, you don't want to start here. This has some serious depth and character to it. Gonna crack right into this. Absolutely loving the hell out of this right out of the gate. I get this amazing like bacon fat, brown sugar, dulce de leche, caramelized and sitting in a saucepan Well, I totally borrowed that from Binging with Babish. Anyway, in a saucepan, dulce de leche, sitting there for a decent amount of time. This is huge, huge in the nose. Definitely more smoky than it is medicinal. That translates really well to the taste. Oh, so rich. This is not something that you're gonna chug. This is gonna be a sipper. This likely will be also something you want to add a little water to, open up those flavors. You get smoke, you get dark sugar like molasses, you get a little bit of spicy vanilla, but really where it's at is this idea of caramelized burnt ends or candied bacon. Wonderfully smoky, definitely sweet, right on the tip of the tongue and the middle of the tongue. This is next level single malt scotch. Don't screw around. If you have not tried Islay Scotches, don't start here. But if you're looking for something different, Oogadoll from Ardbeg. And that's it. That is my list. That is my list of my top 6 single malt scotches that I'm drinking the colder months, autumn and winter of 2021. Be on the lookout for some more whiskey and spirits videos, random YouTube jargon. Hope that you guys enjoyed the hell out of this video. Hopefully you've had a sip with me. I am definitely a little bit tipsy, and I appreciate the hell out of every single one of you, new viewers and subscribers alike. Hope that you're taking care of yourselves and each other, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're going, no matter what you are drinking, no matter what you are spraying. Don't forget to keep calm, stink pretty, and drink well. And I will see you on the next one. Slainte. Holy shit.